Welcome to the Parallel Press. My name is James Garner, and I'm here to bring you the Week 7 Parallel Preview. Unfortunately, Aiden Whitehead couldn't join me this time around, but he will be back when we do our Week 7 Parallel Postgame video. Now, upcoming this week, we have a loaded slate of men's gymnastics. Kicking it off this weekend, we have Army going up against William & Mary, as well as Ohio State. And then at 7 o'clock that night, we have the New York Alliance going up against Temple. Now, we will not be covering that meet specifically. That will be covered by the Gymnastics team over on their Instagram and their YouTube account. Then on Sunday, we have a doubleheader between Navy and Springfield at 1 o'clock, followed by Air Force and California at 5 o'clock. For the first meet of the weekend, I'll be previewing the matchup between number 5 Ohio State, number 10 Army, and number 14 William & Mary. Here we have the number 5 team in the country, Ohio State, and they've been the number 1 team on the pommel horse so far this year. Look at their scores here. You can see they posted a 387, a 399, a 394, and they even broke the 400 mark last weekend against Michigan to knock them off and beat their arch rival. Here we have Ohio State's opponent, number 10 Army, who's been pretty consistent this year. If you look at their rankings on each event, they're pretty much 10th in the country on everything so far. And if you look at their actual scores this year, they put up a 358 against Penn State, but ever since then they bounced back at posting at least a 380 and 3 out of the last 4 meets. Now for their other opponent, we have number 14 William & Mary. Now they posted solid 360s and 350s, which aren't as high scores as Army and Ohio State have, but it'll be interesting to see how they come out here and compete against these teams. Now for our next meet, we have number 8 Navy going up against 12 Springfield College. Navy is ranked number 8 in the country, and they're 5th on the floor as well as the rings. And if you look at their scores, they've only competed twice this year, but they put up a 391 and a 384, which are very respectable scores. If we look here at Navy's opponent, number 12 Springfield, we can see that they've been a pretty solid and consistent team so far, posting in the 370s each time around. Now they face a little tougher opponent here in Navy, so it'll be interesting to see if they can come out and play with a little chip on their shoulder as the underdog, and see if they can maybe pull off an upset against Navy. Going on to our next meet, we have number 9 California going up against number 15 Air Force. Cal is ranked number 9 in the country, and they're actually 4th on the parallel bars in the country, which has been a really solid event so far for them this year. And it's one of the reasons why they have that top 10 ranking in the country. They posted really good scores this year. As you can see, they posted a 382, then a 393, then a 386, and back up to a 391 against Stanford. Opponent Air Force, is ranked number 15 in the country. And they've been steadily increasing their scores. Not steadily, they've been vastly improving their scores. Starting off at a 323, they bumped that up by 41 points to a 365, and then followed it up by improving by another 14 points to almost breaking the 380 mark, just missing it by a 10th. So Air Force is really on the rise, and if they have another solid meet and keep improving like this, they can maybe pull off an upset against California. Now it's time for the meet of the week. We have number 2 Oklahoma going up against number 3 Nebraska. It's a wonderful top 3 matchup. We have Oklahoma, who's obviously 2nd in the country, and they're top 3 on all the events, including the number 1 team on the high bar this year. Each one of their meets so far this year, they posted at least a 400, which is just insane. Last week against Illinois, they posted a 403.95, which helped give them the edge over the Fighting Illini. But this week, they have an even tougher matchup against the Cornhuskers. Nebraska is ranked number 3 in the country, including top 3 on the floor, parallel bars, and the high bar. Nebraska has also been very solid, posting a 402, 400, and 408. So both teams have posted at least 400 they meet so far this year. And Nebraska put up a monstrous 408, which is one of the highest scores in the entire country so far this year. It's just going to be a star-studded matchup. You have guys like Fuzzy Bennett, who's just a freshman, and he's already one of the best guys on this Oklahoma team. And then you have guys like Sam Phillips, who's been a big contributor to this Nebraska team. Overall, it's just going to be a very fun meet to watch. We're going to see a lot of great gymnastics, and I'm excited to watch it. And that's why it's our meet of the week. Then at 7, watch any of these meets. Here are the times. We have Army going up against William & Mary and Ohio State at 12 p.m. Then at 7 o'clock, that's when we have our meet of the week. Nebraska, who's going to Norman to face Oklahoma. And then also at 7 o'clock, we have the New York Alliance going up against Temple. And on Sunday, at 1 o'clock, we have Navy, who's going up against Springfield. And then follow that up at 5 o'clock when we have Air Force, who's traveling to California. With a lot of exciting gymnastics this weekend. So be sure to check back in a few days when Aiden and I post the parallel postgame, where we recap all the meets this weekend, including our meet of the week. That'll wrap things up this week. This was the Week 7 Parallel Preview, and be sure to check back in next week for the Parallel postgame.